Now the headlines. Environmental Protection Agency Administrator Scott Pruitt discusses climate change. Vice President Mike Pence says the Trump administration is assessing whether to move the embassy to Jerusalem. U.S. President Donald Trump hosts Peruvian President Pedro Pablo Kuczynski at the White House. President Trump decides to skip the White House press dinner. Plus, Iglesia Ni Cristo members recognize service of the Los Angeles Fire Department. You're watching Eagle News, Washington, D.C., bringing you stories from around the nation. I am Eliza Gonzalez, Manglikmon. Environmental Protection Agency head Scott Pruitt says Republicans don't have anything to be apologetic about with respect to the environment, adding that responsible stewardship of the agency that oversees the country's air, water, and land and business interests are not mutually exclusive. Myla Simbulan reports.
Environmental Protection Agency Administrator Scott Pruitt said economic growth and environmental responsibility aren't mutually exclusive at an event for conservatives.
We as Republicans don't have anything to be apologetic about with respect to the environment. Nothing. We have always believed that you can grow jobs, grow an economy, while also doing what? Being a good steward of the environment. That's what we're tasked to do, and we can do both.
The U.S. Senate confirmed President Donald Trump's pick to run the Environmental Protection Agency last week over the objections of Democrats and environmentalists worried he will gut the agency as the administration readies executive orders to ease regulation on drillers and miners. Pruitt said he would keep with the president's plans to roll back regulations that they believe hinder business growth. He also reflected on the sort of legacy he would like to leave at the agency.
So I hope, whenever the day comes that I leave the EPA, I hope that the people in this country recognize that we've accomplished that we're better than China, that we're better than India, that we're better than developing nations across the globe, because we do both. We grow jobs, we see jobs in West Virginia and Ohio and Pennsylvania, and we also take care of our water, and we also take care of our air, and we take care of the future for our children. That's what I believe needs to happen.
Current and former employees of the agency have expressed concern that Pruitt, who sued the EPA more than a dozen times on behalf of his oil-producing state and has doubted the science of climate change, will now lead it. Asked about the manner in which human activity contributes to climate change, Pruitt responded with uncertainty.
Well, we don't know, and that's the difficulty with this issue, because to measure with precision that impact is something that is very difficult to do. But let's not forget something. Are the tools in the toolbox. I think the last several years, the focus has been on whether the climate is changing, whether humans are contributing to it, and the scientific review of that.
Pruitt has criticized the EPA for being preoccupied with climate change during President Barack Obama's administration and for being too zealous with the regulation. He has questioned the manner in which the agency intervened in several states.
If it is happening, what can Congress and what can the administrative state do about it? If the tools aren't in the toolbox, if Congress hasn't spoken on the issue, agencies just can't make it up.
Nearly 800 former EPA staff urged the Senate to reject Pruitt in a letter this week, saying he had shown no interest in enforcing environmental laws. Earlier this month, about 30 current employees at an EPA regional office in Chicago joined the protest against Pruitt held by green groups. For Eagle News, I am Myla Simbulan, and I am one with 25.
Thank you, Myla. U.S. Vice President Mike Pence said on Friday evening that the U.S. is assessing whether to move the embassy to Jerusalem from Tel Aviv. Speaking at the annual Republican Jewish Coalition in Las Vegas, Pence said the administration of President Donald Trump is reviewing additional steps to demonstrate America's support, including assessing whether the American embassy in Israel should be relocated to Jerusalem. Geoffrey Nolasco with more.
During the presidential campaign, Donald Trump's team spoke often about moving the U.S. Embassy in Israel from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. But since taking office, the contentious issue has become more nuanced and may already be moving to the back burner. The Israeli foreign minister said currently No country has its embassy in Jerusalem. In his remarks, Pence also said repeated previous statements by the Trump administration that Iran is on notice.
President Trump already put the leading state sponsor of terrorism on notice. And we told the Ayatollahs in Tehran that they should check the calendar. There's a new president in the Oval Office, and his name is Donald Trump.
The White House put Iran on notice on February 2nd for test firing a ballistic missile and said it was reviewing how to respond, taking an aggressive posture toward Tehran that could raise tensions in the region. While the exact implication of the U.S. threat were unclear, the new administration said it signals that Trump intends to do more, possibly including imposing new sanctions, to curb what he sees as defiance of a nuclear deal negotiated in 2015 by then-President Barack Obama. For Eagle News, I am Joffrey Nolasco, and I am 1 with 25.
Thank you, Joffrey. Coming up, U.S. President Donald Trump hosts Peruvian President Pedro Pablo Kuczynski at the White House. President Trump decides to skip the White House press dinner. Plus, Iglesia Ni Cristo members recognize service of the Los Angeles Fire Department. Eagle News, Washington, D.C. will be right back. Welcome back. You are watching Eagle News, Washington, D.C. U.S. President Donald Trump hosted Peruvian President Pedro Pablo Kuczynski at the White House on Friday, saying Peru has been a fantastic neighbor.
The two chatted about Kuczynski's daughters, and the president of Peru said being in the United States is a good thing.
Well, I'm happy to be in Washington. I lived here for a while. I lived in New York. We greatly respect the U.S. We have excellent relations, and Latin America needs to grow more, and we're going to talk about how to do that.
President Trump said Peru would be buying military equipment from the United States.
And we're going to talk some business. I understand they're going to be buying quite a bit of our military, some of our military vehicles, and they are great vehicles. I just looked at it, and we're approving it, and use them well.
Trump also mentioned there is an issue about Venezuela.
I guess I do. We have a problem with Venezuela. They're doing very poorly, and so we'll be talking about a lot of different things.
On February 12, Kuczynski asked Trump in a phone call to consider deporting the Andean country's fugitive ex-president Alejandro Toledo. Kuczynski's government believes that Toledo, wanted in connection with a far-reaching graft probe, is in the United States, but that efforts to capture him have stalled on legal hurdles. Interior Minister Carlos Basombrillo said the United States wants Peru to provide more evidence of probable cause before ordering Toledo's detention in the United States. The dispute threatened to strain tensions between the United States and Peru, a traditional U.S. ally in South America. Peru is considered one of the world's top cocaine producer.
U.S. President Donald Trump announced on Saturday that he would not attend the annual White House Correspondents Association dinner, a high-profile event that draws celebrities, politicians, and journalists. Sarah Nachman with the story.
On the campaign trail and in the White House, Trump has had a strained relationship with the press, calling journalists the enemy of the people and frequently criticizing outlets and individual reporters whose coverage he does not like. On Saturday, President Trump posted on Twitter, "I will not be attending the White House Correspondents Association dinner this year. Please wish everyone well and have a great evening." The reporters group said it would go ahead with its April 29 dinner despite Trump's absence. The Washington event typically draws movie stars, politicians, and business leaders to hear a humorous speech by the sitting president. Ronald Reagan was the last president to sit out the event after he was shot in 1981. In previous years, presidents have often used the dinner as a chance to show off their sense of humor. President George W. Bush joked that his mother was a fan of rocker Ozzy Osbourne to laughter and applause. U.S. President Barack Obama in 2011 poked fun at those who questioned his citizenship, including Trump.
Obviously, we all know about your credentials and breadth of experience. For example, no, seriously, just recently, in an episode of Celebrity Apprentice, at the steakhouse, the men's cooking team did not impress the judges from Omaha Steaks. And there was a lot of blame to go around, but you, Mr. Trump, recognized that the real problem was a lack of leadership. And so ultimately you didn't blame Little John or Meatloaf. You fired Gary Busey. And these are the kind of decisions that would keep me up at night.
If President Trump would not attend the White House Correspondents Association dinner event, many wonder who would take his place. For Eagle News, I am Sarah Nackman, and I am 1 with 25.
Thank you, Sarah. Iglesia Ni Cristo members recognize service of the Los Angeles Fire Department. That's next. Eagle News, Washington, D.C. will be back shortly. Welcome back. You are watching Eagle News, Washington, D.C. Station 90 firefighters of the Los Angeles Fire Department were given recognition by members of the Iglesia Ni Cristo congregation in L.A. Eva Basalyahe reports.
Firefighters and police officers place their lives at risk every day to save others. They are the heroes of our community who protect, serve, and save lives. The members of the Iglesia Ni Cristo in Southwest California are showing their appreciation to these brave men and women who are committed and dedicated in keeping our cities safe.
These guys really are not there for fame or what have you. They are here to serve us, but most of the time they are underappreciated. As a church and as a church that really cares, we show our love and appreciation to them by giving this small token to tell them and to make them feel that we're here, that appreciate them, that much, even though they are not really appreciated by a lot of people, because sometimes they don't get any credits or anything. But then again, these are people that what we call it a hero now, because they are going beyond what their capabilities are.
It is important to appreciate the work that the firefighters are doing in helping the community, so that we can show to them that the community that they serve really appreciate what they do in helping us.
The members of the Church of Christ are having a Firefighters Appreciation Day because we thank them for helping our community.
The impact firefighters have on our cities is that they influence the kids all around the world and they help keep the community safe. How I feel participating in this event today is very appreciative and happy that we get to appreciate the local heroes of the community.
It relates because heroes are like saving people's lives, and firefighters help save people's lives. I feel really good because I know how firefighters get to work and how they get trained and how we get to have safety.
Children, it's on saying that they respond to firefighters as heroes is a good thing to see, that they look up to people that want to go out and do those kind of good acts for them. Do we look at ourselves as heroes? Not necessarily, because we're doing the job we want to do. But it's something that the kids look up to and it gives them a positive role model, then we enjoy that. The appreciation that we're getting today from the members of Church of Christ is great. We really love the enthusiasm that they show and come in to participate in it and to learn exactly what the fire department does. It's really a good show.
How a firefighter is a children's hero, that's just one of the perks of the job. No firefighter asks or does it because they're the hero. They do it because they love what they do. And most firefighters come to work and they have a heart of service, and we just like to go to work and help people. and the fact that the kids love us and people love us, that's just an added benefit to our job. But it's you know, very rewarding career in that respect. The way that we feel when we have members, especially from the Church of Christ, that come in to pay us honor is that's just one of the things that really makes our job nice. Is the community outreach that the church did for us today is something that we do. And to receive the appreciation it's very rewarding to us because it's something that we don't do. We don't get that aspect of it. We'll go in and we get self-satisfaction, but it's when the community reaches out and loves their heroes that really makes us smile. I just want to thank the Church of Christ for coming today, and again, what a treat for me and the crew that's on duty today.
Well, I thought it was a great opportunity that the members of the Church of Christ were able to come out and actually get a chance to experience and interact with the fire station. You know, I referenced my group in Group 3, who was the top group of the day. Anyway, I referenced them that being citizens of LA, they actually have ownership into the fire station, and they call us and when they're having a time of need or they feel that they need some help. We come out to take care of all the situations that they have. So I explained that to them and got a chance to show them around, give them a tour, and really know. So now they have a better understanding of what we do as a fire service. So again, I'd like to thank the members of the Church of Christ for coming out today. We truly appreciate what you've done for us as well. Thank you for giving.
The simple but meaningful appreciation given by the members of the Iglesia Ni Cristo to the firefighters and police officers who brave dangers every day and work tirelessly for our communities brought great smiles and joys to their faces. Reporting for Eagle News, I am Eva Pasayahe, and I am 1 with 25.
Thank you, Eva. That is today's Eagle News, Washington, D.C. Join us again next time as we bring news that matters to you. Visit our website at Eaglenews.PH. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/Eaglenews.PH. I am Eliza Gonzalez, Management, always 1 with 25.